In this video, I'm going to show how I create my animations of Jupiter using only free software. We are going to start off by opening up Gimp 2. Gimp is a free software. It's kind of a free version of Photoshop. It's actually quite a nice little software, and it's very useful. That's where I do all of my photo editing of all of my astrophotography images. And then we'll open up the files that we want. I'm going to go to Jupiter, and let's see if I could find my files. Okay, and we'll pick a file, an image, open it up, and this will give us our basic background size. And now that we open this one up, it's going to give a default size on the background, and we'll open up a blank background. Go back to our image, and we're going to open up the rest of the images as a new layer. So we'll select 3 or 4 of them and open them up, and they'll stack them in there as new layers over the original image. And we can turn off each one. You can see the planet rotating as you turn on and off each layer. And we'll select this bottom one, and we'll work from the bottom up. We'll select by color, and we'll select the black. Then we'll invert it to where it's only selecting Jupiter. We'll go to copy visible. We'll go to our dark background, and we'll paste as a new layer. Boom. And then we'll take it, rotate it. I know it's 85 degrees that we need to rotate it to get it straight. And there we go. And what we can do is we can move it kind of centered on our little black ground right there. And we'll go back and grab our next image. So we'll select the next image, turn off the first one, and then we'll select this one by color again, because each image is going to be slightly different. We'll invert it, we'll copy visible, and then select our animation file and paste as a new layer. And we'll rotate this one. And okay. It doesn't quite line up. Now what we're going to have to do is move it in place. Okay. We need to move it. We'll get rid of that. And click on the move button and move it right over the other one. Now it's not completely lined up, so we'll go to change the it over to difference, and it'll only display the difference between the two layers. And we could grab it and move it, and we could also use the arrow keys to just move it a little bit if you're having trouble getting to fine detail. Use the arrow keys, but you want to make the edges disappear, and that looks pretty good right there. We'll go back and put it to normal. There we go, and we should be able to turn off the layers, and you see the rotation, but the planet shouldn't move like that. Okay, and we'll go grab the next layer. Turn that one off and select by color. There, and then invert and copy visible, and paste as a new layer. And then we need to rotate this one. Okay. this one looks pretty close. It doesn't look like it's moving. Now we can double check it though. Go through to difference. Oh, that looks pretty doggone good. Okay, we'll go back to normal. And the last one, and that actually looks pretty good. We'll go grab the next one. Turn that off and select by color and invert and copy visible. We'll go and paste as a new layer. We'll rotate it. See how that comes out. That's actually pretty good too. And we can step through them. See the rotation. And what we could do is, at this point, we can actually change the colors and exposure and all to make each image match the rest of them in the stack. If there's one that's a little lighter or a little darker, you could change the exposure or the contrast. Let's see what the contrast will do here. Play with the contrast a little bit. Oh, that crunches it in quite a bit. But anyway, you can play with the settings here and make it match with the other images in the stack of layers. But all of these seem to be pretty close. So we'll stack through these, and I think it'll do okay. So what we could do now is we could take this layer, this black layer, and duplicate it, and then we'll move it up in between. So we'll keep duplicating them, and we'll have a black layer in between each one of the pictures of Jupiter. Duplicate. Leave these last two, and then we'll merge the two visible layers, so those two will merge together. We'll open the next two and merge those. Close that one and then merge the next two and merge those. Okay, close it and open the next two. Merge it. Now we have our 4 images, and we should be able to step through them and see the rotation. Now, one thing I like to do is to, on my animations, have it go one way and then back the other. What I'll do is I'll select this first one and duplicate the layer. So now it's going the same layer. Go to the next one, duplicate the layer, and then move that one up to the top. Right there. So we'll go to the next one. Right there. And we'll duplicate that layer. To the top. We'll select the last one, duplicate, and move it to the top. Now it should go both directions. Rotate, 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 going back. There you go. Let's come over here and we want to export as we want to find where we want to put this. We'll put it on the desktop under astronomy, and we want to export it as a GIF. Or GIF, however you want to pronounce it. And we'll select the title and we'll name it. Export it as an animation. We're going 100 milliseconds in between. You could actually change that to make it longer or shorter, and we're gonna 1 frame per layer. And we want to use the same timing for all of the frames. So we could export it and see what that looks like. That's pretty good. It's a little fast. We could actually change that timing on there from 100 milliseconds to maybe 250 milliseconds or so. But we're going to go with it like that. And we're going to use Virtualdub, which is another free software. We're going to take that. I'm going to open that file. Open it up. And you should have the little timeline around on the bottom. You could go through and see all of the rotations. Get rid of that. Let's rotate through. Yeah. And we're going to want to save as an AVI, and we'll save it under the same name, but we'll put it in the right directory. Save it, goes through, converts it as an AVI, and then we can go test it. There it is. It's a very short clip. We could actually make it longer. We could actually stitch several clips together. But you can see the rotation there. It's pretty smooth. And that's how I do my rotations, my animations.